All right, so hello everyone. Thanks for joining us. My name is Kevin Gray. I'll be your host for today's contractor panel discussion. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the owner and president of ADC Paving here in Louisville, Kentucky. We are an asphalt paving and pavement maintenance company. And while I could spend days talking about paving with this group of leaders, today's conversation is going to be focused around leadership and influencing positive change in our industry. Social media has opened new doors for all of us to showcase our businesses while improving the image of construction as a whole. We'll dig into those challenges and opportunities that our panelists are experiencing, and we'll have a little fun while we're at it too, guys. So joining me today, without further ado, we have Mr. Keith Calloway Jr. He is the Vice President of Operations at K&L Industries in Portland, Oregon. And we've got Mr. Bill, it ain't cool if your chrome don't shine, Stanley Jr. with American Pavement Specialists out of Danbury, Connecticut.
How you guys doing? Nice to see you all. Thanks for having me.
Doing good. So before we get going here, guys, just want to take a couple minutes and have each of you tell our viewers a little bit about yourselves and your business. So Keith, do you want to start us off?
Absolutely. So we're K&L Industries. I'm second generation in this industry, in this business, but third generation paver. Started in '84. The K and the L stand for Keith and Lillian. Those are the founders, my parents. And yeah, we are a family owned and operated pavement and pavement maintenance company that has experienced some rapid growth in the last few years over the entire social media boom. And I'm just honored to be here with a couple of legends like yourself.
Bill?
Bill Stanley Jr., owner operator, American Pavement Specialist out of Danbury, Connecticut. We started in 1992, so we're about 28 years, I gather, here. Paving contractor since I was 12 years old. My dad was in the business. He took me in the truck. I think I've been pretty much steady on asphalt since I was 12 or 13 every summer. So I've been in pavement for 45 years. And family owned and operated also. And we're running a local company, doing our thing as hard and as fast as we can.
That's great. That's great, guys. And yeah, I'm in a similar situation. I kind of married into this business. My wife's grandfather started what was formerly Asphalt Driveways Company. So that's where the ADC comes from. Her aunt, her grandfather ran it from 1959 to 1980. When her aunt and uncle took over, they ran it from 1980 to 2011, and fell on some ill health and some bad times. And I was kind of in limbo with where I was going with my career, and found an opportunity to revitalize a paving business here in Louisville, Kentucky. So my wife and I jumped in with both feet, and the rest is history. So it's really cool. I think that all of us, kind of come from this family owned and operated, long history and lineage. Yeah, man. So this is going to be an awesome conversation today, guys. Let's get it going. First question is for Bill. It's, working alongside your family comes with its own set of challenges, as we all know. But there is also this magic that happens when everyone is invested and rowing in the same direction. So how have you unified around that shared vision, and what advantages has that brought to your business?
Yeah, definitely have a family-owned company here. Me, my wife's in the office full-time. I have 4 sons work for me full-time, a couple nephews on the job. So yeah, we're definitely deep entrenched in family. And working with family is the best thing in the world, and it also can be stressful. But we try to put all that aside, because we all pretty much, being raised on blacktop, we're well trained that we got a job to do. And when we have, like you say, everyone rowing in the same direction, nothing better than that. I mean, if one of us have a wedding, confirmation, a baptism, need a day off, or a doctor's visit, we know that there's somebody else there on the job that's going to cover our back, which is huge, right? Even with the best quality guys that you can possibly find, men, build, you're never going to get anyone like your own. to make sure that your product is what you want, and that everyone's not only working well, but performing like a Swiss watch, right? That's what you need to do asphalt. So there's a lot of advantages, some disadvantages, but not as many as the pluses. A lot more pluses than minuses, that's for sure. That's for sure.
Cool. Keith, you wanna elaborate on any of that?
Yeah, I'm on the other end. I'm the next generation. So I know that there's a constant rub between old school and new school that my dad and I we have to have sometimes heated exchanges about. We call them conversations, but other people think we're fighting at times. But yeah, it just like you said, I would never trade the bad days for the good days. If I got brothers that work in other businesses, so not in the day to day, but there's nothing quite like working with my dad and my mom. And my mom's the office mom, so she takes care of all of the kids. All of the guys that are out in the field, just like they're her own kids, and and asks them what they're doing and why they're doing that. And same with my dad. We're big into mentorship, and my dad is trying to, we're a second chance industry. I'm sure you guys are well aware of that. And most of the time, the guys come to us battered and broken. And our job is to train them and hopefully train them in a way that they can go and and achieve their dreams. Maybe that's here, maybe it's somewhere else, but we're looking to take that family dynamic and build on it, and teach the trade and the skills to everybody that wants to learn.
Man, that's a beautiful thing when you can, when it becomes more about just laying blacktop, but the unity and the bonds that are created, whether it's with family or people within your business that are now considered part of your extended family. I mean, there's really something powerful in those words, and I can feel it both from both of you guys. Keith, to keep going on this a little bit, so you talked about button heads a little bit and working with mom and dad. So how do you balance family and business, especially during those stressful times?
Well, so the reality is that not everybody can. So I'm just going to put that out there at the beginning. I got 5 other brothers and a sister, and I'm the only one that works day to day with my family in the office with my parents. It's not because anybody's less tough. It's just because they didn't want to be there. And I either am too dumb or too slow to understand that maybe it wasn't always, rainbows and butterflies on the good days. But a lot of times we have to have that healthy separation where we have a conversation and say, okay, well, we're not going to resolve this today. I'm going to put this down. But we do have, a niece's birthday party, or mom's got dinner. So, and that's not okay to have at the dinner table. So we're going to agree to disagree, and we're going to talk about this tomorrow. Like, we're going to draw those boundaries and create a culture in which you can leave work at work, and then you can go have your family time, and you're not sucking the serenity out of a room because there's this conflict going on between you and somebody else.
Yeah. Bill, how about you? You guys sitting around the table at Christmas talking blacktop?
Oh, we're
or what?
the opposite. We're yelling and screaming at Christmas right across the table at each other.
Yeah.
No, but there's an electrical contractor in Connecticut, and I'm even going to give them a shout out because they're an amazing family. The Rizzo Electric, they're called. They run the largest highway electrical contractors in the state of Connecticut, and they have brothers, sisters, daughters, daughter-in-laws, son-in-laws, nieces, nephews, cousins, brothers. They all work for the company, and there's probably 300 or 400 employees, and 100 of them are related. And I know the old man who's a bit older than me, and I said to him, Mr. Rizzo, I said, I'm so impressed how you keep your family together. I said, all working together. I said, what is the key? Because I know there's a lot of businesses out there that can't do it. And he said, look around my office, look around my yard, and you'll see 100 guys out there. He said, and every single one of them, we put up with their crap. He said, this one comes in late every Monday. He's been here for 20 years. This one comes in with liquor on his breath every Tuesday. He's been here for 20 years. That one drives too fast. We put up with him. He's been here for 10 years. Why wouldn't you put up with your sister, your brother, your father, your uncle, your cousin's crap? And I've always used that as a motto, and that's what we try to use, that if we're going to put up with Bob, John, or Jose's garbage, why wouldn't you put up with your brother who's rowing the boat in the same direction as you said in the beginning, Kevin? So
Wow.
if you use that motto, you can really, I think, stabilize a lot of things with the family dynamics. And we'll yell and scream and fight. We throw rakes, we throw shovels, and 20 minutes later, it's over. It's over, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
Then
that's
if you want to see
powerful.
a job, Kev, if you want to see a job going quick, you know, if the job's going slow, let two brothers get into a fight. Boy, everyone gets their butt in gear, and 10 minutes later, the job's done.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, that's so true. Keith, big difference between being a boss and being a leader. And I was just actually out in Portland with you guys, and I got to see it firsthand. And you're an incredible leader. I mean, I'm flat out impressed with how you have command and you coach your team. I mean, it's really an awesome thing, and I think that's a big piece of why your all's culture is so good. How would you describe your leadership style, and how do you motivate your team?
I think 2 years ago, I was just telling you when you were out here, 2 years ago, I wrote down a goal to be less of a dictator and to be more of a coach.
Yeah.
You know, I learned some bad habits from being young and thinking that I needed to be the baddest dude on the job, and that I needed to be involved in every single piece of it. And that really was a disservice to me as I started to get a little bit older and had some more wisdom to go with that. When you're young, you have to prove why you need to be there. And there just comes this time where people look at you and they understand conceptually that you belong. And that was that switch, is saying, I don't want to be the guy that has to tell everybody to do what to do all the time. I would rather be the guy that says, hey, where do you want to go? And what are you good at? And then let's help you get there. And let's be really honest about where you're at. And I started developing like interpersonal relationships with all the guys that work here. I know that if I'm really hard on this guy, you know, he's going to understand it. But if I do the same thing to this guy, he's going to shut down. Like he literally will not listen to me. He doesn't hear anything. And so understanding who the other people are and how they interact with who you are allows you to leverage who they are and their skills to get more out of them. Because when people come to us, my job as a good leader is to get 20, 30, 40% more out of the same person that was less effective at the last place they worked. And then when they come, and I tell people this all the time, my favorite thing as a leader is watching the lights come on in these people's ideas and realities and dreams. And they say, I can actually have that, or I can actually be that, or accomplish that. But it's my job to show them the path of how to get from where they don't believe in themselves or they have the skills, and to get over to the other side and say, you actually do have the skills and the capacity, but the real question here is whether or not you want it. Because that's what I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you how to get there, but I need to know from you, do you want it or not? That's the difference in my leadership style, because now I get the privilege of asking that question and saying, okay, if you want that, we're going to build like a 9-step, 10-step process. It's going to take a year, but I can get you into that paver seat, or I can get you into that next, that lead position, whatever it is you want, but I need to know you're all in.
Yeah, that's a cool thing. And then, you know, Bill, so how would you describe your leadership style out there? I mean, I see you guys on Instagram and follow all your stuff, and I'm dying to get up there and work with you one day, man. Like I want to be a part of that energy.
I don't know if I'm as sharp as Keith. My you know, I'm a little old school, and you know, and I like you know, I move a little fast if I can. So I consider myself, I'm like George Washington. I lead from the front. I'm right in the front. I'm taking the bullets. I'm taking the arrows. And I think anyone in any leadership position, and you have to prove yourself, like Keith said, but like every day. And, you know, I don't run my business from the seat of my SUV. You know, if the bathroom needs cleaning, I clean it. If the driveway needs sweeping, I sweep it. If the chain's not up, I go back and put it up at the shop at the end of the day. And I think, you know, by leading by example, you know, my guys know that whatever I'm going to ask them to do, if they got to jump in that body and clean the body at the end of the day, even though they don't want to, and they know that I'll do it. And I won't ask anyone to do anything that I wouldn't do. Now I'm getting older. I'm sliding out of that position. My boys are starting to come into these positions now. But I demand that from them too. And I think the guys, anybody, guys, girls, whoever, man, woman, whoever you're employing, they have to know that you're willing to take that job on also. I just think that it results in a reaction that, you know, yes, sir, it's going to get done, because they know that you're going to do it if they can.
Yep.
And that's the way I roll. And I don't know if I'm great at it, but I do have a team that's a pretty good team, and they seem to keep coming back. So we're doing something right.
Yeah, you're on to something for sure, for sure. Trust is such a big deal when it comes to building, you know, these relationships with your teams and also with your customers, right? Like your teams have got to perform so that your customers feel that and they get that experience also. Either of you guys can lead with this one, but how do you define trust, and how do you build it within your sphere of influence?
Go ahead, Bill.
Wait, now, okay.
Yeah.
Trust. There it is. That's the word, right? That's the
Yep.
whole word. So customer trust, suppliers trust, subcontractors trust, employees trust, your whole universe. I don't care what it is, whatever you shine at in your business. And every one of us have something that we do well, and that's why we're running a business. My best result may be something different than you do, and vice versa. Once you have trust within your entire circle of your mechanics, your supplier, your asphalt supplier, your concrete supplier, your gravel guy, and your customers and your employees, business is easy. It's a walk in the park. It takes years to get this trust and gather your circle all together. But once it's done, business is easy. We don't need contracts. We don't need papers. We don't need lien waivers. We know when I come down to put a tire on your truck, you know that I say I'm going to be there 2:30. You turn around, the tires on the truck. That's all that Keith and Kevin want to know is the tires on the truck. You really don't even care how much it costs. You just want to know that your tires on your truck because you need to go to work. And you need that tire guy, right? Because if you might be able to buy one for $259, your guy might be $359, but I need that tire for Monday morning, right? So it's all about the trust, period. And it takes years to find these people that you can trust and work with and get your circle. And I know that both of you guys have that, and I'm sure that you can attest to that. Once you have that, business is a lot easier. Your contacts on your phone, right? I mean, you can go to your tire guy. Whoever you need to get will answer up the phone and say, it's Kevin, and it's 9 o'clock on Saturday night. They're going to pick it up because they know that they can trust you and you trust them. End the story. Right?
Yep. Absolutely. So my mom says trust is a free gift once. That's what she tells everybody when they're onboarded.
Wow.
It's a free gift one time. Now I'm going to,
Write that
regardless
down.
of where you're at in life, I'm going to trust you until you prove yourself untrustworthy. And then she goes, but if you make that list, it's hard to get off there.
I like Mom.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
she's
I wrote
she's
that
a
one
rock
down.
star. Yeah. So for us, you know, we tell everybody the same thing. You know, in order to get people to trust you, whether it's customers, clients, or just consumers, or the people on your crew, you have to do what you say you're going to do, and you have to show up consistently. Trust is a manufacturer with your intentions and what comes out on the other side. The result of all of those things aligning is trust. That's why it takes time, like Bill was referring to. But trust is something that is amazing if it's done right, and it's absolutely incredible for your business. But if it's not done right, it can ruin your business and ruin your culture.
Agreed.
Yep.
Agreed.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a huge piece. And I from what I gather in, you know, the circles we're in within our industry, whether it be our social media channels, our top contractor school channels, and friendships and peers that we've grown accustomed to over the last few years, especially, that a huge piece that's been missing from our industry for so long. We're also contractors who operated day in and day out, season after season after season with integrity. That did what they said they were going to do, whether it was paying their bills, whether it was us leaders being at the shop on time, doing whatever it takes, leading from the front, whatever those things are that help build that integrity, not only for your people and your team, but for your vendors, and you being that piece of the trust circle is huge, because once you break that, or once you become known as someone who does not operate with a certain set of values, ethics, morals, you're starting over from scratch, and you're probably starting over way below scratch. I mean, once that's kind of goes with that trust is a free gift once. So once you screw that up, that's a big hole to climb out of. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So one of the things that social media has helped all of us with is connecting with like-minded customers, vendors, and potential employees, as well as improving the image of the industry as a whole. I guess I just kind of segued into this without even realizing it. So what advice would you give to others when it comes to getting started in social media and telling your business's story? Keith?
Oh man, don't overthink it. I mean, so many people say, I'm not ready.
Yeah.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Well, if you're waiting to get ready, you're never going to be ready. This is that driver behind you. I mean, you just got to start going and doing it. I mean, consistency is the driver in social media. I mean, I can tell all three of us on this screen in the summer months, we get less FaceTime on the screen, that like all the guys from our companies, we're not talking to the camera anymore. It's just a picture here and maybe a quick story here, because we get tired, and I got 20 things going on, but consistency is the key. You just have to get in front of the camera. Nobody's good at it when you start. And honestly, the thing that went through my mind is like, how I'm going to look dumb if I do this. Everybody else is worried about the same thing. Like everybody has the exact same concern. And honestly, when you watch a story, do you ever think that guy was dumb or that was stupid? No, you go to the next one and then you forget what just happened. Right. So the reality is it's just a short little blip, and so just get out there and do it and get that constant motion and be in the social media world. Otherwise, you're never going to get the connections and the relationships that you want.
Mr. Stanley, you got anything to add there?
Yeah, well, the World Wide Web, right? Social media, the most powerful business tool ever created. There's no way companies like ours and hundreds of thousands of other firms around the world could possibly get free advertisement, right? Basically free, by getting on social media. For us, we feel that it's authenticity. We feel at American Pavement that the following that we've created is because we're real. I don't think people are going to buy into fake followers and fake pictures of another job. I think that whoever you are, whether you're a one pony show, you got 100 trucks, or whatever it is you do, if you can post that on social media, and people know that it's real, it's going to benefit not only you. I think it's benefit we don't even know how much it's going to benefit us yet. This is just starting. I mean, in construction, where they're really starting to, Instagram, Facebook is really starting to build our base. This is just starting. We have no idea where this is going to be in 5 years, 10 years. But everyone can do it. It costs nothing. It's free advertisement, but we really feel it's authenticity. It really has to be, people have to look at it and go, this guy's telling me the truth. It can't be, fake. We think it needs to be real. It's a powerful tool. There's no doubt about it. And like I said, we don't even know where it's going to be next year. And I'm sure both of you have grown your customer base, your subcontractor base, we've even grown our equipment manufacturers are even reaching out to us now, try my product, because we have a social media platform. So we don't even know where it's going, but you need to be on, even if you fill a pothole, take a click of it, show your work, show that you can do your thing. And I think everybody can benefit from it.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head there with the authenticity piece, because anybody can fake it behind the camera. But I think now more than ever, this is how people are buying. They want to go online. They want to be able to kind of look and see who they're getting ready to do business with. And if you show up different than what you've said, who you've said you are in all these videos or whatever, I mean, you're killing yourself. And one of the biggest things I think, not just for the exposure we get with customers or vendors or things like that, but it's really helped present our culture out into the community. So it's if we're being real with who we are, and we're illustrating and showing who we are and how we operate, what we believe in, we're finding that we're attracting the right kind of employees to us. Also, it's amazing how many people now, back even just 3-4 years ago, how much kind of riffraff we would get in the door every winter, looking for a job, and now you can see the quality of, because they understand what you stand for and what you believe in and what you're going to tolerate or not. And this is what our workday looks like. They watch American Pavement on Instagram and say, these guys get it. Can I do that?
Right.
Most people can't. So you're kind of pre-qualifying those guys as well. Anybody got anything else to add to that point before we move on?
I think the only thing that I would say is that, I love the authentic part. The flip side is, like you said, it's a snapshot of your business. So make sure that you're showing the parts of your business that you're proud of, because those are the pieces that, that you can build off of. I know that for us, we really try to show our guys. I'm not a very good guy at stories. I don't do them as often as I should. But I know that when we get our people's faces on there, and people can start to connect names with stories with, hey, that guy was, one of our guys, Gabe, we did a who he is video, and when he got here, we said, what do you want? I want to buy a house. I want to buy a house. And we told his story of him buying a house. And it was, and he's like, and what he told us 2 years ago when we said, what do we do? What does K&L do every day? And he goes, man, we make people's dreams come true. And I'm like, I mean, I guess I never thought of us being in that Disneyland type of situation, but he said, no, think about it. When we go do these people's driveways, they save for years. Some of these people save for a lifetime on this stuff. And then we get to go and provide that dream. And on the flip side, we get to help our employees get theirs. So.
Very cool. Very cool. So we're a couple months into 2021, guys.
Yeah, can I continue?
Of course.
And I'm sure we've all done advertising, whether it's a placemat at a diner, a logo on your truck, a billboard. I don't care the ad that somebody walked in your office and sold you. For some reason, it always seemed like, you look at the ad, you go, like, that's not what I wanted. It didn't come out right. On the web, on social media, you're telling your story. You're not relying on some guy to make you an ad. So you telling your own story, and if you keep it authentic, I think what's better than Kevin Gray selling his product every day on the media, on social media, than the Kentucky Journal. I mean, you could pay them $10,000 and run a front page ad for the next month, and it's not going to get the traction that they are with you standing on pavement saying, this is what we do right here. And it's you telling the people exactly what you do. I think that's the big difference, on the social media.
Yeah. Yeah, you have an opportunity to almost have an in-person introduction of yourself and your business, whoever's willing to watch, right? So it's awesome. What are some of the biggest challenges you guys are seeing on the horizon for 2021, and what are some things you're most optimistic about? Yeah, do it.
Okay. Well, it's 2021. It's the same every year this time of the year. This time of the year, we're wondering where all the work's going to come from. How the hell are we going to pay all these bills and all these guys, right? And at the end of the year, it's like, how are we going to finish all this work before the end of the season, right? So those are always the two biggest challenges. 2021, right? We won't know for unfortunately in our industry, we don't get to learn this until our season starts, because I mean, we have a small folder of work, but we don't have enough to get us, through the middle of summer yet. And we won't until our weather breaks. So those are always, this is always nervous time of the year for every contractor, whether you're a painter, whether you carry a broom, a mop, or a paving machine on your back. This time of the year, I'm sure you guys are thinking the same thing. How the hell is this going to happen? New president, new economy, fuel's going up, prices going up. And it seems the same thing every year. Come September, October, you're like, holy shit, how am I going to finish this workload? Right?
Yeah.
I think 2021 is going to be fine. I think we're going to be fine. And I really believe we're going to be fine because we've created this circle of trust. We have guys that, guaranteed every year, they're going to give us 2 or 3 parking lots, 2 or 3 roads. We have our core group. And then whatever else we pick up to fill in the gaps in between, I think we're going to be fine. I think 2021 is going to be fine. That's my prediction.
Love it.
I think the same thing. Every year we wonder, we're like, man, last year was the best year we've had. What are we going to do next? And every year we look back and go, how did we think that was all we could do? That's kind of the looking forward and looking back. I mean, obviously there are concerns. I look at the gas prices going up, and every time I think back to, I think it was 2007 that gas prices went to $5 a gallon. And we had one month where it was a $50,000 fuel bill. It was 2.5 times what it was, the previous 2 months. And so I have these PTSDs moment where I look back and then I go, yeah, but we made it through all that. We made it through 2009, 2010. We made it through all these things. And, that staying power that's important for guys that have started 20 plus years ago. My dad says, it is what it is. I mean, we've been through 3 recessions already. I started a business in '84 in the middle of basically the worst recession America has ever still seen. Interest rates were, 8 high teens for a house. And he goes, it's going to be fine. We might, it's going to look a little different every year. But what we've been trying to focus on is the things that we can do and the things we can change. I heard a quote this morning that says, if you worry about what you can control and the actions you take, the results will take care of themselves. And, and that was, we were talking in our sales meeting about that. And I said, listen, the sold jobs are cool, but how many contacts did you make and how many calls did you actually pick up the phone and dial? Because those are the things we can control. I can control my effort and my attitude. I can't control the results. And, same with our guys, they like, what are we going to do this year? I'm like, I don't know. Last year we had a bunch of work and then Corona happened and a bunch of big capital projects were told no. And so, in our mind, at some point, they're going to have those projects to do. And we just got to make sure we're here for when they say yes. Just keep showing up.
That's it. Yeah. It's funny. We laid out some pretty aggressive revenue goals for 2021. We're actually going to shoot for 100% growth this season. And just this morning found out one of our estimators are leaving us. So it's like, we gotta, and it's like, it's fine. It's okay. We'll figure it out. I've already made some contacts and we've got some things in motion. And the thing is, when you've got great people on your team already, they're in your corner with you saying, we're going to figure this out. We're going to get through it. I feel you, Bill. We're about at this time every year is like, how are we going to pay the rent? And I just put a few guys back on the payroll this week. And it's like, man, I hope we collect on these jobs this week because we need to keep these boys fed. So you always get through it. And it's always something different. It seems every season, but it's never unique. It's kind of just the cycle and the vibe that our business and industry takes on. It's how you manage it. And it's the people you got around you to row the boat with you. Right. I mean, anything can be accomplished and any adversity can be handled with the right group of people. 100%. I believe in that. I know you guys do too. You've built your life around it. You've built your businesses around it. So testament to survival. So we've got a few minutes left here. Going to get a little aspirational for the last bit here, end this thing on a high note. Briefly want each of you to tell me, what is your most important goal personally or professionally in 2021?
Whew.
Keith, Bill, somebody get it.
Okay, I'm gonna give it to you. Well, I got 8 grandkids now, Kev.
Whew.
So we're gonna, and the family. That's all my personal goals right there, period. I don't want to go catch a shark or go fishing off the coast of Alaska. We want to make sure our family is strong and solid and together. That's my personal goal. Professionally, again, my hobby not only is my work laying asphalt, running a paving company. My hobby is laying asphalt, running a paving company. It's what I do. I don't run around in sports cars on the weekend. I'm usually at the shop changing the oil on the roller. That's just me. And, I enjoy fine tuning, building the business, and not in size so much, just we're trying to, just make our foundation thicker and wider and deeper. That's what I want to do. My next, however many years more I last on this planet, is get that foundation where it's never can be moved, so my grandkids can have that company. That's what I'm working on.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing.
Right on.
Thank you.
So my professional goals, just happened to write them down yesterday. We're looking to slow down a little bit so that we can build a better processes and procedures manual and setup. Everything. I mean, I think all of you guys probably can agree. Most of our businesses are not written down. They're right up here. I mean, all the people we know, all the things you do, it's all up here. And we look at this, and my dad looked at this, and was like, man, how do we do this? How do we build a business that we can pass on from generation to generation unless we document what's going on? So our goal this year is to get every process and procedure in our entire business written down, and handbooks and training setups done so that we can teach the next generation of people. And it takes less time for me, and there's less headaches.
It's gonna be that thick, Keith.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're done with it. Send it to me.
Yeah.
I'll pay big money for it.
Yeah. No, so that's document and all the procedures and get everybody to follow them. That's 2021's big goal. Personally, I'm gonna. I just found out, Kevin, that I got that MRI on my knee. Nothing's wrong, so now it's grind time, and I have an ultra that I'm signed up for in 9 weeks, and that's really too short of a time to prepare for it. But I'm not bowing out because I didn't have time to prepare. So I got a 50-mile run in 9 weeks from now that I'm gonna go do, and it's 9,000 feet up and 9,000 feet down over 50 miles. And we're gonna see what happens.
How long do you have to do this 50-mile run?
14 hours.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's doable. It's 16 and a half minutes a mile. And then, plus all the aid stations where you stop. But, like when you said you just get up and go, that's what you do on these. And I find that I get all my alone time and all the things that I need to connect with when I'm out there alone, just me and nature.
Okay, Keith, your father's going to expect you in the yard Monday morning after you run.
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You better be at work.
Yeah. I'll be at work at 5 a.m. because I probably won't be sleeping. I'll be so sore.
Right. Go run your ass off. Just don't miss any time.
What about you, Kevin? What are your goals personally and professionally?
Man, I tell you what, professionally, I'm taking a book out of your page, and it really solidified what I need to do for ADC in 2021. And that is not necessarily get out of the field. I've been like Bill the last couple seasons where but I like leading from the front. I like being in the trenches. I just, it's my hobby. Like I'm an ex-collegiate wrestler and athlete. And like, I love the grind. I love working hard. I like getting dirty. I love looking back and seeing what our team has accomplished for the day. So I do enjoy that leading from the front, and it's going to be tough for me, but we've got a young group of guys, mostly 32 and younger. So I think it's time that they've seen me lead from the front. They know that I'll do anything that I ask them to do. They know that. I think the biggest thing I need to do professionally this year is coach my team in whatever capacity that may be, whether it be helping them through things in their personal lives, professional lives, making sure they're on track to hit the goals they want out of life and within the business, and to just be a better coach to my 4 leaders, to the people in my sales division, and it's basically overall my entire business. Just be a better coach. And I'm not quite sure what that looks like yet, but we are experiencing some rapid growth as well, and I think I need a couple years here to really get my arms around the business. I have an awesome vice president of operations in Cindy. She's been with me. It's going on 8 years now. So she's been instrumental in holding down the fort while I've been out in the field for so many years, kind of grinding with the guys. So it's, but I think it's time we take a little step back and I change my role just a little bit. Not that I won't be out there, because I'm not going to be able to give that up 100%. I know it in my bones, but just to be a better coach, better listener, better. I kind of look at my business as a team, as a sports team. I think, no dictatorship, no I'm the boss, no. We're all here together, right? I'm not better than my shovel guy. Like that's how I see this thing. So I'm intrigued and interested on what that's going to look like. But Keith, I mean, just getting to spend some time with you out there just for a few days to see how you're operating and kind of what you've been able to mold by stepping out of the field just a little bit. I mean, you're still in there with them. I mean, you're still running the operations. You are very in tune with what's going on. You got boots on the ground yourself, and it's I think there's something to that. I think it's a big piece of our culture. As good as it is, there's just a little piece missing, and that's kind of my goal this year, is to solidify this culture and to be a coach. So
Cool.
yeah. You guys have anything else you want to talk about? We're about out of time.
I want to ask Keith,
All right.
how's dad doing? We talked about your mom. How's your father?
My dad is good.
Yeah.
We had that training meeting and the sales meeting this morning. I'm going to call him out here. He goes, I got to the end of the day. He goes, and it just felt like my head was full. And then they get to the day and he goes, I had a few breaths and I think I can do it one thing at a time. I just got to start plugging away at one thing at a time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's my dad. He's a grinder. That's, and he'll tell anybody that.
When you see your dad, tell him that Papa Billy said hello. And
I will.
I will.
It's Keith, it's pretty awesome to, to look up to guys like your dad and Bill here. They've been doing this a long time, and it's a ton of respect for you guys who've been pioneers in our industry, and it's been really cool to chat with you and to chat with you, Keith.
Thank you. Yeah, but Kevin, we definitely need young people in the business. We need to.
Well, we do.
Yeah,
we do.
Need young people in the business. And you guys are pushing the envelope now. I'm a little bit further. And if we can take our trade, our skill, and professionalize it and show young people that, guess what? Being a paving contractor is a damn good job and a damn great way to make a living and something you should be proud of doing. That's the only way we're going to get the next generation of workers off of cell phones. And if we do have a minute, I could tell you a quick story. I was talking to my brother-in-law the other day who is actually in the business and married my sister, went to UConn for 4 years, got out, became a insurance adjuster at Aetna. Sat in the office for 2 years. He said, I took my papers from my outbox, put them in the computer, put them in the inbox. Came with us one summer for a few days. And he told me this the other day. He said, when we finished the job and I turned around and saw this whole thing we did in one day, he said, that was it. I knew that day I would never go back to the corporation. That after I saw what we could complete, he said it was just the sense of completion that I had when I did that. And he's been in the contracting business for 40 years. because he's got that builder gene in it. And I'm sure there's tons of young people that have this builder gene that just don't know it. But you guys making it cool is definitely where we're going to get our next group of employees from. And they're out there. We just got to find them or even build them, but they're there. And I think everyone knows that's some pretty, one of the puzzles in the pieces of the puzzle right now, where the next generation is going to come from, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you nailed it. We got to show them that it's cool and
Yeah, it is cool.
something you can be proud of. It then, you know,
Yeah.
asphalt's got a bad stigma for, you know, it's, you're a dirty asphalt worker, and it's like it's not that at all. And especially with today's technologies and equipments and just the processes of how we can complete things now. It's a really amazing industry that I know I'm very proud of. I know the two of you are. I mean,
Absolutely.
and again, we've talked about it a lot today. I mean, look how much the lives of the people that are in our companies, how much their lives have improved by being able to have a good job. You know, they're buying cars, they're buying houses. People that never thought they may spend the majority of their lifetime in a prison cell or even worse. You know what I mean? So it's truly rewarding work.
Absolutely.
And it is.
This has been a great conversation, guys. We've got a little bit of time left. Now we're going to turn it over to our audience for their questions.
Wow.
If we could.
Oh,
Yeah.